Claire,
All right.
how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to talk to you after meeting you and the rest of the Jail to Jobs crew. That was such an honor to do that story. So thank you guys again.
You're welcome. I've been following you since then, and something that I noticed from your first Instagram post when you're at the University of Miami reporting up until this last post where you were saying last day of internship, you appear, matter of fact, I felt you were very confident when I met you, but I can see it. Do you see how you've grown in confidence over these last few months?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because when I started out in front of the camera, I was not only nervous, but visibly nervous. I had pretty much no confidence in myself. I really didn't see how I was going to be able to talk in front of a camera. And now here I am. I'm interning at KXAN in Austin, and I have done in front of the camera work for them. And as an intern, that's pretty special to be able to do that. And I think that I've just been able to grow as a person because I love what I do, and the more that I do it, the more that I grow, and the more that I'm able to say, okay, I'm messing up sometimes, but it's okay to mess up as long as I learn from it. And I think I've been able to learn from my mistakes and see where I need to grow, and that's been able to help me become more confident.
Okay. Have you ever had that aha moment where you were like, I can see I'm growing? Have you ever had that moment?
Yeah, that's really funny that you say that because I haven't really thought about it until this moment, but I was taking a TV performance class and my teacher was like, "Okay, go out and film something." And I went out and filmed something and I was like not too happy about it, but whatever. And he showed it in front of the class and I was a little nervous, but I was like, "Okay, I mean, it's a TV performance class." And he just stood there in silence. And he's like, "Claire, I have never seen you do that well before." And the whole class was like, "Yeah, you did a really good job." And for me, it was like, okay, I am the most critical person to myself. I mean, I think that's natural to criticize yourself and, be your harshest critic. And I think for me, it was the realization that, maybe I'm being a little bit too hard on myself. I'm here to grow, I'm here to learn. But if other people can, lift me up and help me see my potential, that's going to help me go a long way. And I think that that one moment for me, my teacher saying, "You got it in you," for me was enough.
When I met you, I was looking and I met you at the Jail to Jobs reentry house on the north side of Austin. So you were setting up, and my coworker said, "Well, she's gonna do the reporting." So in my mind, I'm saying, "Okay, where's the cameraman and this, that, and the other?" And you actually taped, had your microphone on, positioned everybody, and then we went to the construction site. And of course, I saw the finished product, but you just seemed so in tune and comfortable with everyone, whether it was the youth, whether it was us, or even the owners of that particular construction company. So if you had to give someone some advice in whatever career they're taking up, a key to confidence is
Oh, that's a tough one.
you're okay.
um, I would say a key to confidence is not caring what other people think about you. And I think that that for me has gotten me to where I am today. Other people's opinion, I just tune it out, to be quite honest. At this point, I know some people are going to like my work and some people aren't going to like my work. And I'm okay with both of that. And I think for me, like realizing that other people aren't worried about you. They're just very, I don't know. I just think I've been so hard on myself in seeing myself through other people's eyes when at the end of the day, what's really important is what I think about me and what I think about my work. And so I would say that the key to confidence is really not caring what other people think.
Have there ever been any surprises during your line of work? Because you're interviewing, you're taping. What's one of the biggest surprises that ever had you like, wow?
That's a good question. Wow, I mean, you're full of good questions here. Um, the biggest surprise, I would say I was doing a story on a woman's shelter in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I was interviewing a volunteer, and it was 8 in the morning on a Monday, and I was thinking it was just going to be a quick interview about how this woman likes volunteering at the women's shelter. And about 5 minutes into the interview, she broke down. I mean, she just started crying. She was so passionate about the work she was doing. And here I am behind the camera crying too. I mean, I'm supposed to be, calm, collected, and I'm crying. And I'm just seeing how passionate she was about the work that she's doing. And she's a volunteer, she's a mom. That really hit home for me. I'm like, wow, the people that I'm talking to are so passionate about what they do. And for me, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I love journalism because I love talking to people that are so passionate about whatever it is in their lives. And I think for me, that was such an eye opener. I was so surprised. I mean, she caught me off guard. It was 8 a.m. and I was crying. And so to me, that was definitely a special moment. And that story was, I mean, it really hit home. So yeah.
I remember in one of your posts that you were speaking about the upcoming, at the time, presidential election. And I believe you had popcorn in your hand and you were like, hey, you want to get some of this if you're going to watch this election. So I just want to commend you on not only reporting, but reporting in a manner that takes us behind the scenes, so to speak. You're in the front of the camera, but I believe that I'm there with you. That's why I watched your post concerning the Olympics. And so what has been the hardest part of being a reporter for you?
Oh, the hardest part about being a reporter. Hmm. Um, I would say finding a narrow story, because you can do a story about anything, but as long as you narrow it down to a focus, then you really have what you need. And I can bring an example in of jail to jobs. My story was reentry programs in Austin. That's a very broad topic. So as a reporter, to be able to narrow it down and talk to certain people and really have a certain focus, I would say that's the most difficult part. And for me, it was like, okay, what part of the reentry program in Austin can I highlight? And then I found jail to jobs. And then I found, oh, wait, this is a youth reentry program. So I can, highlight this specific audience. So I was able to do that. But I think once you have your focus, it becomes a little bit easier. But I would say just getting started and really like because at first you don't really know the heart of the story. And once you find the heart of the story, then you're good. So I would say that's the most difficult part.
Okay. In these days and times, I had interviewed a reporter around 6 months ago, and I asked
Mm-hmm.
her this question that I'm going to ask you. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think in this day and time, reporters as a whole get a bad rap?
I would say in the past few years, I have definitely seen that, especially on social media. I think social media can be a breeding ground for hate sometimes. And I hate to see it because it's just reporters, especially at the local level, just want to go out and tell the story, tell the truth. And a lot of it is community centered and community based, and they're just trying to tell those stories. So I would say, especially on social media, I've noticed that. I mean, I'm not a reporter at the local level. Like I still have a year left of college, so I'm still doing, um, you know, pretty elementary reporting, but I would say I've definitely witnessed it with my own eyes. Yeah. And it's, something that I hope gets better because I want people to know that, reporters really do, from what I've seen, want the best and they really want to tell the stories of their communities.
Thank you. In closing, as a reporter, do you have any questions for me before I let you get back to work?
Yes, I have one question for you. What's your mission and what's kind of your goal in talking to people and doing these interviews?
My personal mission is I believe that there is a lot of wisdom that is not heard because everyone is not quote unquote famous. Everyone does not have a large following of individuals. And so I believe that a word spoken by you or other individuals, if it just helps one person, that motivates me. So my motivation is to help people in general. And then specific just on to me personally is reentry and rehabilitation. And so what I attempt to do is to live the best life possible by being an example of a man who was given a second chance. And so that when people ask me, where did you come from? Or where did you learn that? Or what motivates you? I'm able to share with them having the opportunity to have a second chance after incarceration. But to just say that up front, that's not going to garner the attention as well as if I've been in the room for an hour and we've been conversing and we've been discussing different topics, and they're like, hey, I'd like to know a little bit more about you. That's the moment that I think rehabilitation and reentry, because I'm not only living a life for myself, I'm living a life for other individuals who, if they are given a second opportunity, they will not only live, but they will live well.
Wow, that's inspiring. I mean, and I've been following your posts on social media too. And I mean, keep up the great work. It's amazing to see you do that.
Okay, thank you. I thank you for your time. And
Thank
I
you.
know we're
It's
going to
great
help
talking to
somebody.
you.
So you have a great evening.
You too. Thank you so
Okay,
much. I
bye
appreciate
bye.
it.